now, so we have all of this double recorded. All right. Cool. I think we're good. So Corey, what I'm going to do now is just prompt you with, the questions that we already have in that doc.
Mhm.
And let's just go ahead and see how we do. And we might do a couple takes, really however much you want of each of these questions, and we'll just go through and see how it goes. Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, cool. So how about we start? Can you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Corey Bruce, and I'm the Vice President of Sales for EHS Insights.
Awesome. And can you tell us a little bit about what EHS Insight does?
Sure. EHS Insight is a web-based, app-based health and safety and environmental software that essentially automates safety, risk, compliance, and process to reduce costs, resources, and effort required to effectively manage audits, incidents, training, and other key areas for lots of organizations globally.
Okay, great. I'm going to ask you this probably a couple times throughout the rest of the 20 minutes. Can you can we do that in one more take, but just a little more concise?
Sure. You bet. You ready?
Yep. Yeah. So can you tell me a bit more about what EHS Insight does?
You bet. EHS Insight automates safety, risk, and compliance processes to reduce costs, resources, and effort required to manage various different aspects of health and safety for organizations.
Awesome. Perfect. Okay. And what does your go-to-market team look like today?
Yeah, as of today, we've grown substantially over the last couple of years, but we've got 2 SDRs, 3 BDRs, 11 account executives, and well over 15 customer success people behind scenes, from account managers to CSAs and CSM, supporting the overall sales and marketing organization.
Great. Okay. So we've got that background stuff out of the way. I'm just looking through your responses here. Transformation change. Okay, so you wrote down in the doc that you're seeing explosive revenue growth. So can you touch on that a little bit? What was the situation that was happening at the company that prompted you to sort of start this journey with us?
Sure. So when I joined 3 years ago, we were a SaaS-based company doing quite well, 10 years old. But part of what we were doing and accomplishing with investment from level equity partners was, like most SaaS companies, was to grow and scale. And so my job was to put structure and process in. And while we were doing that, we were finding ourselves hiring rapidly and growing revenue rapidly, but process and procedure needed to improve so we could continue to achieve the results we wanted and maintain the customer base that we were desiring.
Okay. I love this phrase that you wrote here. We had seen explosive revenue growth, but also experienced a lot of lost deals. Can you say that, and or maybe like just touch on that a little bit more? What exactly do you think was contributing to the lost deals?
You bet. Sure. So outside of seeing explosive growth, and I can quantify that, which we basically have almost 2.5 times revenue since 2020 year to date. But we did see a lot of lost deals. Primarily, that we were thinking of was there was something wrong in the sales process, that our closed loss category consistently was growing, and we didn't want that. We wanted it to shrink, of course, and we wanted more won deals. So we knew that there was something we were probably doing during the sales journey, from MQL through the process of demoing even to quotation stage.
Great. Okay. Cool. Let's move on to the pain section. Well, we already touched on a little bit of that. Okay, so maybe we can do one more take of that. I want to get it into like a really nice, tight, concise statement. So if you could start with something along the lines of that we have down there in the sheet. I originally began this journey, and I'm going to just give you an example here, but feel free to put it in your own words. I originally began this journey because we were seeing explosive revenue growth, but we were also experiencing a lot of lost deals. Okay. Whatever sentence, is that you want to put together. I originally began this journey because. Can we do that sentence?
Absolutely. Okay. I originally began this journey because we had seen a lot of explosive revenue, but simultaneously we were experiencing a lot of closed loss deals.
Perfect. Thank you. This way, when we're editing things, we have like a few different options of things to choose from,
Yeah.
like the longer answer, the shorter answer, you know what I mean?
Yep, makes
Okay,
sense.
great. Okay, then let's go down to the we were struggling too. So talking about like, what you've done to solve for this in the past, and why you ultimately decided like, okay, that's not working and we need to find a different solution.
Okay. Let me just reread this real quick so I can get an idea of what I want to say. All right, we're struggling to.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Okay. We were struggling to advance deals through our pipeline stages and getting hung up on evaluating and deciding. We'd also tried a lot of other sales solutions like spin selling, medic, other different. I'll have to start over. Sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. We were struggling to advance deals through the pipeline, primarily in the evaluating and deciding stages. Having said that, we tried a lot of other selling solutions on the marketplace, but our processes were really incomplete, and reps came from different backgrounds, and we looked for reasons to advance.
Great, thank
I'm going
you.
to store that up. Okay.
No, that's great.
Okay.
Okay, and so then let's move on to impact. So, we were able to roll out a program of, let's start with something like that. What was the program that you decided to roll out? And then we'll get into what is the actual impacts that you were able to achieve.
Okay. And just for the record here, so I think you probably know, I engaged Winning by Design on a lot of different levels. One was a lot of training, actually. So a lot of the classes, selling for impact, managing for impact, SDRs for impact. But I think the one we'll probably focus on here, I think, would be probably the consulting work. Lauren, is that kind of what you wanted us to do, was kind of the go-to-market motions and strategy? Is that kind of what you're looking for? I just want to make sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no right or wrong answer here. Quite frankly, I think it's a combination of consulting that helped you understand where your growth levers were, process design that helped you make sure that you were optimizing, the fastest path to success for the organization, and then training and coaching to reinforce that everyone was really adhering. So I really do think you guys are a great example of like when all things come together, like growth happens in a thoughtful, systemic way. That was a really long answer to your question, but I don't know that I would leave anything out. I think you can kind of tap into all of the elements.
Great. And I'd love to do that too. Okay, awesome. All right, here we go. Impact. Okay. We were able to roll out a couple different programs, one with Winning by Design training for the sales team, and then also go-to-market motion, looking at our organization on ultimately what levers we needed to pull from a sales strategy through our customer journey.
Great. Okay. And I see, okay, great. So you touched on that first question here. All right. You have notes in here about the training process and conversation cards. Can you talk a little bit about the conversation cards as well and how that helped facilitate customer conversations?
Absolutely. So part of the, hang on, let me go back. I had my notes here. Start over. Yeah. Part of the deliverables to the team were the use of personas and conversation cards. This enabled all of our sales reps to understand with whom they were speaking to and how to have effective conversations with them, enabling them to further and advance the deals through our pipeline, but making sure that we attacked situation, pain, and impact. And what we had ultimately were our pocket stories to help build up the impact that we could make on our prospects.
Amazing. Okay. And can we do the same thing for the process side of things, the consulting work? Can you dig into that a little bit? What was like the key focus of that consulting work for you? And what did that allow the team to do?
Yeah. In terms of one of the deliverables regarding process for our team was splitting off our customers in terms of MQLs on where do they land in our SMB and mid-market categories. We were trying to chase lots of different deals, but we didn't really know have the data behind to decide what teams needed to be attacking what. I screwed that up. I don't like what I said. I'm going to start over.
Go for it, start over.
I like to speak extemporaneously, but I like went way off on a tangent, and then that just screwed it up. Okay. One of the other deliverables that we rolled out were new training process. That is not only running the sales reps through process from a pipeline standpoint and what we call now the bow tie, which is a winning by design special process, but also where does our go-to-market motion stand in terms of how are we splitting off our customer base from small to medium-sized business and then mid-market business, which is really where our organization excels selling in the marketplace.
Okay, great. So let's do that same thing. That's the longer answer. I would love to get a shorter answer of like the short pithy version of that statement. So maybe we could start with something like, by rolling out a new sales process, the team was now able to ...
Okay. By rolling out a new sales process, the team was able to effectively manage the deals through the pipeline with better close rates.
Awesome. Okay. Great. So we've just touched on, what the key elements of the program were. Let's talk about the emotional impacts to the team. So I think we have that at like top of the next page.
Okay.
You had some notes there about the team having confidence in the team and product. So maybe we can touch on that a little bit. What are the sort of, how did the team ultimately feel about these improvements that were being made?
Okay. The ultimate impact of this work for my team specifically was building their confidence in how to effectively sell our product and how to speak to our prospects through the cycle of the selling process, and understanding, most importantly, how the decision-making process is made.
Amazing. Okay. I'm just reading through the rest of your notes here. Sales reps felt good. Helps our performance. Okay. Okay, so I'd love to tie this a little bit to the actual percentages that you have down below, where you say like deal size increased 9%, 65% increase in sales meetings. So maybe we could try to tie that together a little bit, something along the lines of, whatever you feel comfortable with. I always adjust any prompts I'm giving you, please. But maybe something along the lines of like, the sales team felt so much more comfortable as they were going through this sales process, and ultimately we were able to achieve an increase in average deal size by 9%, a increase in 65, So I'd love to sort of tie that story together. Our sales team felt so much more comfortable, and ultimately, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Our sales team felt so much more comfortable and confident that we saw an increase on average by 9% on the average deal size, a 65% increase in sales meetings booked, and 123% increase in sales activities completed by the account executives. And lastly, 126% increase in connected calls with our prospects.
Amazing. That's beautiful. Okay. Let's see. I also love this statement that you wrote here, where we asked, what effect did it have on work, attitude, energy, accomplishments? You said we saw a positive impact in team camaraderie, attitudes were high, activity increased in virtually all areas. Like, that is really cool. Could you actually like say that or speak to that a little more?
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, let's see. This also impacted and affected my entire team for the positive in terms of camaraderie. Their attitudes were high. Activity increased in virtually every area that we would keep track of: calls, emails, notes, tasks, helping each other out, jumping into demos. You saw that everybody was excited to be here and be part of the team.
Awesome. Okay. And then let's talk about, for you personally. So we have that prompt there of how did it impact you directly in your own core role and responsibility?
Yeah. So this impacted me directly in my core roles and responsibilities, because as a sales leader, it's rewarding when you see data and facts helping us guide and making changes where we needed to, but also see the impact that this program influenced my team to win deals, knowing that we're doing the right things. And the results that I measured by as a sales leader is revenue, which closed deals increased. Was that too long? Is that too wordy?
That was great. Let's see, how could we shorten that a little bit for a shorter take?
Can I just read? Do you mind if I just read my script? Because I think if you noticed, I kind of focused on the why. I feel like when you're in sales, it's 50% can be like, what's HubSpot say? And then the other percent is like, why are we doing this? Why? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Why does the customer come to us? So would it be appropriate to talk about the why?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I really love what you wrote there. Go for it.
Okay. This impacted me directly in my core role and responsibilities because as a sales leader, it's rewarding to see data and facts helping guide me to make the changes needed in our motions, but really solve for the why. Why are we doing this? Because the data is improving us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Can you cut that out? Okay.
Yeah. We'll cut out anything that's not needed. Don't worry. I love it. It was really great. With the emphasis on, solving for the why. That's perfect. Okay, great. I'm just continuing down here. I know we've just got 5 minutes left.
I can go a little bit longer if you need me to. I think I've got, but I will respect the time that you have to.
Yeah, all good. I can also go longer. But we'll try to keep it to the half hour. Let's see. Okay, so you already touched on some of the KPIs. I would love to do that one more time. Because I see you've written here under like any metrics or KPI improvements we can share. Because you have some additional points in there that are really impressive. Like we hit H1 plan. We were at 100%. Does this mean you're at 100% by June 30th?
Correct. Yeah, for quarter 1 and 2. So for the first half of 2023, we were at full plan.
Oh, full plan. Okay, got it. Reps were engaged, quicker time to book demos. I see. Yeah, maybe we can do a take on that. Like, like we were able, maybe something, starting with, we were able to see improvements in several of our key metrics, for instance, and then, sort of go through that list that you have there.
Okay. We were able to see improvements in some of our KPIs. Specifically, we saw a win rate increase of 5%. We hit H1 plan. And we noticed a quicker time to book demos with the motion changes we made by using Winning by Design suggestions.
Awesome. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is one of my favorite prompts to ask. And I saw that you filled that out also, so thank you. So I'm going to prompt you with this as the next one on the sheet. If you could say this sentence, what I found after the work was complete, which I didn't expect was. So if you could say that and then fill in the sentence.
You bet. What I found after the work was complete, which I didn't expect, was how the team embraced the change and our leadership was excited, but also the results we saw were immediate, which when you do projects, you usually expect a learning cycle or a learning curve period, but we saw the immediate turnaround.
Cool, love that. Okay, can we do one more take of that just with the second half? So what I found that I didn't expect was we ended up with, an immediate results.
You got it. What I found after the work was complete, which I didn't expect, was the results were immediate, which I did not expect. Oh, I said that redundantly.
That's fine. It's all good. It's all good. Let's keep going down to critical event.
Okay.
So maybe the prompt we can use here is I'm just reading your answer. One moment. Quarterly goals and revenue. Okay. Yeah, maybe we can start off by saying, you know, we needed to solve this problem, or we needed to figure this out because we had, you know, some critical events that we needed to meet, which were blah, blah, blah.
Okay. We needed to figure this out because we had some critical events such as hitting quarterly goals and revenue goals set forth by the leadership team and our board of directors. And lastly, the last couple of years were difficult for most businesses, and we needed to produce revenue. Should I have just stopped at the first part?
That's fine. We can cut the rest out. That works. Thank you. Okay, and let's just do the last section real quick. So, let's do that first prompt there. I knew that the right sales training and consulting partner for my team would be one that. If you could start there.
Okay. I knew that the right sales training or consulting partner for my team would be one that understood and knew SaaS and had a good track record and experience with our business type.
Awesome. Okay. And then advice to peers. So my advice to you, you know, imagine that, you know, another CRO or, you know, VP of sales or head of RevOps is watching this video. What do you want to communicate to them that you have learned by going through this? So if you could start with my advice to you as you start this journey, etc.
Okay. My advice to you as you start this journey to get the greatest impact on your business is keep an open mind and leave your pride at the door. We're all here to improve, and that means honest reflection of what we're doing and how we can always improve.
Awesome. Okay. And it's very kind of you that you said that you would do nothing differently next time, and that's like amazing testament to your work. Maybe we can say like, what would you do even more of, or what would you have wanted to start even earlier or even sooner now that you've seen like how much impact you were able to deliver?
Yeah.
So maybe it's like, if I were to go back and do this again, here's what I would do differently, or here's what I would have started sooner.
Yeah, you could probably see I stopped down there. It was like my last questions I was getting at before our call. So here's my thought. I'm just going to run this by you before I kind of like just start speaking. So one of the things that our business had a challenge with is we didn't have really a RevOps person yet. We didn't have anybody owning HubSpot. So I think for me, I'm giving your feedback. I think this is a good point, is understanding kind of what CRM is saying. That sounds so cliche, I feel like, or so like drawn out or just overused for probably the last 20 years. But I feel like I'm not kidding. I mean, the amount of work everybody did on this team was incredible. If we didn't know what the data says. Kind of like you don't know what you don't know. We didn't know what we didn't know. I feel like that is what I really want to drive home. And I'm pretty sure that if any sales VP or RevOps person or any sales director was honest with themselves, he or she would say, yeah, you're probably right. We got some help with understanding what does the data say so we can make more informed decisions like we did. So that's kind of what I think I'd like to say that.
Right. I don't think that's cliche at all. I think that's an amazing one. Like, you know, to me, what I just heard from you is make sure that you understand the data. The data is your friend. If you don't have enough capacity on your team to do it yourself, then bring in someone to help you, because that's the core of everything that you will do after that. It's going to the data is going to shine a light on exactly what you need to do to improve. Like that is a huge learning and a really nice takeaway, I think.
Okay. Very cool. All right, then I will say that. All right. So I'm saying what we would do more of, or do you want me to actually start maybe what we might do differently next time is to understand even more data? How do you want me to start that?
Or even, you know, my advice to you as you start this journey is to understand your data and go from there.
Okay. My advice to you as you start this journey and to get the greatest impact on your business is to really understand your data. You can't fix what you don't know. And if you don't know what you don't know, that's a really good starting point to make better informed decisions and having a higher impact on overall sales team performance and your revenue goals.
Awesome. Amazing. Yeah, that's a really great insight to share. Okay, we have gone through all of our questions. Lauren, is there anything else that you feel like we should touch on that we didn't touch on here?
Whoops, I'll keep that video off. I mean, I think we've hit on, what the business does, what the impact, or, how you tackled the problem that you have, advice that you pass along. I mean, I think there's other ways to get at some of those same things, but like, what do you know now that you wish you would have known earlier? Or what do you plan to do moving forward to continue the momentum? I'm just wondering if anything like that would get different talking points, Sari. I'm thinking out loud. I'm thinking on the fly here.
Yeah, that last one's a good question. Maybe it's like, yeah, what are you continuing, or what are the real, the things that have been implemented that you feel like are now a fundamental part of this team that are like continually a part of their motion?
Absolutely, I can address that because it's in HubSpot. So like we made the changes. So yes, Lauren, thanks for bringing that up. There's a couple things I can note about that. So the way I can kick this off is, what are we consistently doing now is that kind of how you want me to kick that off? What is your preference on starting that sentence?
Some things that are now a part, fully ingrained in the way that we go about our GTM are.
Okay. Things that are fully ingrained or part of our GTM are spiced: situation, pain, impact, critical event, and decision. Most teams that I have worked with or on or for do not understand this, and that acronym will help yield results for every sales team, from BDR, SDR, all the way to account executive and account management.
Corey, I think that's my favorite quote of the entire thing right there. That was amazing. Thank you.
It's like we wake up saying SP&I, 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 like every time with the SDRs. Did you ask that? And it's in our notes. So yeah, that's probably been one of the most impactful things that we literally took away from this.
I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Amazing.
Do you want me to say anything also? Because this is what's really cool. Like Fiona, she was so incredible, but like the data, they helped us understand like our average customer, like the aggregation of data and displaying of data, like lifted my eyes open. I mean, I don't know if that's helpful, but I think I probably said that on You Don't Know What You Don't Know. Never mind. I'm just thinking out loud with all of you.
No, that's amazing. So let's see. So what was something like specific that aggregation of data helped you understand about your customer that you didn't know before?
Well, for example, something that the aggregation of data that Winning by Design helped us with was 87% of our accounts were below 50,000 ARR. It helped us guide on where our motion needed to be to ensure that we were capturing the market that we excelled at better than we thought.
Okay, great. Let's do a summary of that statement because that's really interesting. I'm just typing it out here if this is helpful. So one of the things that we learned after looking at the deep dive of our data with Winning by Design was that 87% of our accounts were below 50K in ARR. And that was a key learning for us to okay, I'm putting this at the very bottom of the doc. Can we say something like that? Do you see that? The things that we learned?
Sure do. It's right there. Okay. One of the the key things that we learned after looking at the deep dive of our data with Winning by Design was that 87% of our accounts were below 50K in ARR. And that was the key learning for us to be able to guide our go-to-market motion.
Great. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, Lauren, any final things?
The only other thing is like, what's a fun fact? Like, I'm just trying to think of like a fun fact, a fun story. Like, was there, I don't know. I'm totally like throwing spaghetti against the wall for a second, Corey, but like, did your best rep, go on stage and like, get an attaboy? Did, did your whole team, I don't know, like light up a cake that had a data point on it? I mean, was there some sort of like all the data and seriousness and awesomeness aside, was there ever like a fun moment that emerged?
Actually, it's kind of, I guess it could be fun because we closed the largest deal in history, June the 15th or something like that. So I'm trying to think how we could do something fun to that, because I really think that's really neat to showcase.
So maybe there's like, one of our like, icing on the cake moments was closing the biggest deal in EHS history. As a result, you don't need to give a number, like, just, I would keep it generic, but just the fact that like you rang the bell louder than you ever rang, or, that you closed the biggest deal ever, something like that, just that like marquee moment.
Sure. Yeah. Let me, a fun marquee moment, which was icing on the cake for myself, but also EHS Insight, was one of our sales executives closed the largest deal in the history of EHS Insight. Can I redo that? I don't know if I like that.
Sure, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
A fun fact that happened to us this June was one of our account executives closed the largest deal in the history of EHS Insight, which was the icing on the cake for me, having just gone through working with Winning by Design through our sales motions and our go-to-market strategy. And this was the result that we got not even a quarter or two later.
Oh my God, fantastic. Yeah, that is cool. That's a huge fact that we should definitely highlight. That's amazing impact. Okay. I know we've gone 10 minutes over. Corey, thank you.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. This is fantastic. Okay, so what we're going to do is we will go through this video, we'll cut and paste and edit things, and obviously nothing is going to get published without going to you and your team first to make sure that you guys give us the, like, yes, this is all code for approval. Does that sound
great?
good?
Yeah, if you need anything else, let me know. I'm pretty responsive and I love doing this. So
seriously, thank you. This is such an incredible thing that you're doing. We really appreciate the time.
Oh, you're
Terry,
welcome.
one question I have, I know like when we've done these before, there's usually like, call it a 90-second to 2-minute video. And often there's just kind of that 1-page write-up that includes the spiced. In Corey's response, do you feel like you have everything you need for that? Or I guess also just through our own kind of internal assets, we probably have most of that, but I just want to make sure.
I think we do. We'll put together that write-up, and then Corey, like, you might end up, filling in some details to make sure that we're getting the full story right when we just basically write up your sort of, what's the overview of your situation, your pain, and the impact that you were able to achieve. So we'll run all that by you to fill in gaps and correct anything that we're getting wrong. But yeah, I think we have everything we need to draft that up.
We'll spy you.
Yeah. And Lauren, did Corey already get a copy of the book or no?
I don't think so, but we'll have to send. So Jocko, it is just released to the wild. I think this week is the launch of his revenue architecture book. I don't even have a copy. I was going to ask you, Sarah, if I can add myself to the list to get a copy.
LinkedIn blew up. I saw it like a couple days ago, right around Thanksgiving. Everyone's like, "Oh, look what I have," and they're like, "Take me." I'm like, I was going to message him and be like, "Hey, can I get a copy of that?"
So, actually, let's just get are you in the office or are you working from home?
Oh, I'm remote.
You are? can we just, I know it's tacky to ask, but can we just get your address right now on this call?
Of course. Yeah. It's different from last time. We actually moved this number. So it's 4582 Cobra, literally like the
Cobra Kai.
snake, Drive. Yeah, exactly. Cobra Drive. And that's Sparks, Nevada, 89436.
Got it. Cool.
Right. Are you going to be in Nashville in February?
Oh, I already signed up. I invited my new VP of marketing. I messaged Amy and Lou, and I'm like, we are coming again. Because
Well,
I'm so excited. They're pumped up.
we have confirmed Jocko. Sari doesn't know this yet. We're trying to figure out how we can make books happen for Level Equity. And anyway, it'll be fun. We'll definitely see you there again.
I'm so excited. I know I didn't really mention Level at all on this call, and that's fine, but I'm so grateful. Like we were tied, that I joined this organization and it was tied in, because it's been probably one of the coolest experiences of my life. Like, as a sales leader, we're expected to know everything, and we don't. I don't. I'm trying to get better. So Winning by Design helped give me the tools, and we're getting better. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight, of course, but I still have training to do and keeping that moving. But I'm really excited, and everybody I've met at Winning by Design has been just so wonderful. Like, you're such a great group of people. Seriously.
Actually, can I add one more thing? I forgot that we didn't mention Level Equity. Can we do one cut where there is just a appreciate the support from both Winning by Design and Level Equity to get to this place? Or you can I just think it'd be nice for Level Equity to have their name. Sorry to do this, Sari. I know I'm scope creeping, but just to have their name in there for their own, purposes.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so let's all
Sorry
again. Okay. Okay. So yeah, maybe it's something along those lines, like the partnership between us and Winning by Design and Level Equity has been really incredible, having, all of these resources to support and, ensure that we are on a path to success.
Ooh, I like that. That sounded really good. See if I can remember that. Okay. My experience so far has been great, considering having met Winning by Design through Level Equity Partners, and the results. What did we say? Sorry, I'm gonna.
No, all good. Having the support from partners like Winning by Design and Level Equity, has what did I say? Making sure that we are on a path to success. Has been really instrumental in helping us achieve what we have.
Okay. The partnership with Winning by Design through Level Equity Partners has ensured that our organization is on a path to success.
You got it, Corey. You got it.
We're at the end of the commercial. We're at the end of the commercial.
Sorry, I know. It's like,
no,
I would keep it short
randomly, but when you're like focused on saying one thing,
it's hard.
I know. This is really hard. This is really hard. We're really putting you in the hot seat. I know.
Sari, you're on camera.
I am.
Oh yeah, I can say that. Yeah. I did. That's right. Alex sent a message saying you're on camera.
Wait, why? I'm in my own view. Hang on. Show self view. Stop video. Okay, is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. We needed to do it one more time anyway. Here we go.
Third and final. All right, so I'm going to say something like the partnership with Winning by Design through Level Equity Partners has enabled EHS Insight. What was I going to say? Something about the path of success. I really like what you had said earlier. What did you say?
I would just say to achieve impact or to achieve great success for our organization.
Perfect. Achieve great success. Okay, there we go. The partnership between Winning by Design through Level Equity Partners has enabled our organization to achieve success.
Boom. Fantastic.
Lauren, is that okay? Or do you want me to redo it?
I think it's short and sweet. I mean, I think there's, I think that there's parts where there's more detail required, and there's parts that are just, you know, a nice like roundup. And I think this was a good roundup.
Cool.
Amazing. Okay, Corey, thank you again. We're gonna send you a goodie bag with a book and some other things. And then we'll be in touch with all of you so that you can take a look at the final draft.
Awesome. Well, this has been fun. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for getting me a break away from driving deals, because it's that time of year when I was just catching them up. I got 30 days and we're literally a couple 100,000 away from like a banner year in the history too. So I'm like trying to like just keep the pressure on and close the deal so I can enjoy my Christmas holiday versus every sales manager's nightmare, which is checking, you know, deals on December 24th.
Rock on. Yeah, right. You know, may we all have our year finalized by, you know, December 15th.
That would be great. Finance would like me, and so would my CEO.
Yeah, and so would your team, who, to your point, is not having to like look at contracts, you know, the night before Christmas.
Exactly.
Well,
Okay.
congratulations
Well,
on your
hey,
success, and we really
thank you.
appreciate your partnership and doing this. It's fun for us too to see, you know, the success at the end of the, you know, of the engagement. So thank you.
Oh yeah, you gotta have fun. Life's too short. So
Yeah. All
okay,
right.
folks.
All right.
Well, enjoy the rest of your
Terry,
week.
Alex, thank you.
Thank you.
Corey.
See ya.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.